guy's face just ripped right off. Okay? I don't know what to do about it. You can tape it up or glue it or use as contact cement. I don't know, man. But it was rough. Okay, I got a rip. It's back here somewhere. And you just, you surgical tape it up. But this one is gnarly, man. It went right across the side of his face. I mean, the front of his face. Okay? His face just ripped right off as he was giving his testimonial to why he loves Kelowna so much. Have you ever been to Kelowna? Do you want to be? Okay, it's the best town in Canada. Okay, it's got the amenities you need to raise a family. Okay, to have some ice cream. Okay, to have a beach party time. Okay, it's not just for summer beach party time, but let's start there. Start there at a dirty beach. You like your beaches nice and dirty, okay? That way you feels like you're risking something. It's a little bit exciting for you, okay? You go in there and everyone can watch you trudge around on the sand, okay? Whether having their ice cream or they got these pedal cabs, man, and these super ripped up dudes, yeah, okay? They're okay. What happened was there was a bridal party, not the party, but the thing before, where the bride goes and is like, "This is my last free night as a woman," which is true, but not in the way that you think. Okay, there's a party. It is actually pretty cool, okay? Her guests all dressed up like different pictures of her fiance from different eras. And I liked the skier with the stubble. I thought that looked really good. There's pedal cabs. They, is that what that's called when they okay, pedaling? And then there's someone sitting in the back. There's someone sitting in the back. In this case, there was lots of people saying, the point is, then he's got like a 20-foot, like a harness. No, it's a bar that goes, it's a U-bar, 20-foot long, like U-bar. And he goes, and he hauls them up like that. And then he sprints them in the air, round and round. And where he stops, no one knows, okay? And then there's one time, one of the other guys, they had a little bit of a, who's a better pedal cab harnesser? And the one guy, okay, he jumped up like this, leveraged himself up with this 20-foot handle, okay? And okay, and the carriage has wheels on the back of it. So they're meant to do this and like swing around and round and round. Okay, round and round. The other guy jumped up on this shipping container, like the sea can, and he ran along the side of it like he was Matrox. Okay? And it was pretty neat. That's the kind of stuff that you can expect in downtown DTK. Okay? If you're DTK, you should GTK. Okay? Because K is okay. So there's ice cream. There's many different flavors. And she was like, "Are you sure you want that much ice cream?" And I said, "Do you think I'm making some kind of mistake?" And it was half nice. But it was also like half like, what the fuck are you trying to tell me? But I got to settle down because when the universe is trying to tell you, okay, that you're ordering too much ice cream for your child, okay, you should listen. And that's what I did. I said, "What is this really?" And she says, "Take this cup. This double scoop cone is actually a quadruple scoop." Well, why don't you just call it that, I think, now? But in the time, I was like, oh, okay. So then he wanted four different flavors. So then the kid ended up getting 16 different scoops of ice cream. And you think, maybe that's a lot of ice cream. But the price, okay, minimal, okay? Making up for me yelling at him before, priceless, okay? So there you go. And then we had the ice cream. And we watched the people spin the people on the pedal cabs. And that's the kind of fun town that you want to have a time at. Okay. There's a lot of opportunities for youth in Kelowna, like picking fruit and hanging out in front of the pizza place. Okay? There's also an Ogopogo statue where you can take content. Okay, and there's one underneath the water if you want to learn how to scuba dive. And if you learn how to scuba dive, you can get one of those cases for your phone that's waterproof, and then you could go downstairs and go. And you think I'm making fun of them, but really I'm like, how could I learn how to scuba dive? Do you think I could scuba dive? Is it possible to learn how to scuba dive? Is it worth dying for scuba diving? Because there's always a little bit of risk. I guess there's always a little bit of risk in everything you do. For example, I was very nervous about driving to K-Town. Because it's a car, okay? On a highway, okay? Things can happen on a highway that you just can't foresee, okay? A big truck rolls over. A big rock falls off the mountain. Okay? And that's things that you don't want to think about, but they're things that happen every day to people that we don't think is going to happen to us, but they happen to us. So if you've been thinking that and your life is stressful, you should try a trip to Kelowna. Kelowna is a beautiful town with lakefront properties, okay? There's Airbnbs and family members who have a well-stocked guest room because everyone keeps visiting them. Okay, and it was a good time. I'm not saying it wasn't a good time. Kelowna, plenty of opportunities for tourism and sightseeing. Have you ever been on a boat? Okay, why don't you rent a boat on Kelowna? And then you can go with your significant other, have a glass of wine and a bottle of brew, okay? Take a picnic basket full of Sammies and snacks, sit on the boat, and think, is there a sea monster underneath me? I guess technically it would be a lake monster. And how would it get here? Because at least, with Loch Ness, there's the possibility, you see, of being connected to the ocean. But I don't think Lake Okanagan has connections to the ocean. Unless the creature gets there through other means, interdimensional means. So have your wine and sandwiches and think, make sure you look at your hand a lot so that you know you're still in this reality, right? Is this my reality? The answer is yes, it is, because I just told you look at your hand a lot so that you know you're still in this reality. Okay, so if you want to escape the reality a little bit, you could take some mushrooms, or you could take your hand away from your face and do some deep breaths and be like, Ogopogo. Do you feel me? I feel you. Are you there, Ogopogo? Do you want me like I want you? Then your significant other is going to be like, what are you doing? And then they're going to be like, we're always talking about Ogopogo and we don't have time to ourselves because Ogopogo is always a third wheel. When Ogopogo is your third, that presents challenges to the relationship. Okay? Not that I know from experience. I can just surmise from my dreams. So you're on the boat. You're drinking a bottle of wine, and then you're thinking, who's going to drive this boat back? I only have a day license. But you do it anyway. You just drive real slow and hope there's no seals, small children, or other boats around. And then you dock, and you think, what a serene time I had on Kelowna. Kelowna. It's an excellent town. Why don't you come on over here? Okay? Why don't you get in your car plane? Kelowna's got an international airport. So, hey, you, if you're from another country, get in a plane and fly it to Kelowna. Okay? Because they'll accept you with open arms. They'll say, okay, approach to Kelowna. And you say yes. I mean, they say yes. Always yes at Kelowna. There's pizzas, okay? There's a Mexican food that's yummy. Okay. There's ice creams, multiple ice creams. You could go to Peachland, but Peachland is not Kelowna. Okay. Do not lull your sense into a false sense of security. Because when you're in Peachland, you're not in Kelowna, okay? And I know that every municipality has to band together in order to work together to survive. But this is cutthroat, baby. Remember, Peachland is not Kelowna, no matter how you want it to be. Let's talk also about West Kelowna, born and raised, okay? So, there's no water. There's water, but you shouldn't drink it. That's why Kelowna offers things like water. So yeah, you could stay in West Kelowna, but why? You'd get thirsty, okay? But Kelowna's got things to drink. So don't worry about West Kelowna. Don't even cross that bridge when you come to it, okay? Don't do it. Now, there's other lands there you could visit. Make sure you give them your money. I guess yes. Yes, you do want to go to West Kelowna, but like, don't have a good. Okay, yes, you can have a good time. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just want to be the best spokesman for Kelowna that I can be. But it's negative. I'm defining it as a negative. Kelowna is not Peachland, and it's not West Kelowna, born and raised. That's not the way to win hearts and minds. It's exclusive instead of inclusive. I have to change my tactic. It's what Ogopogo would have wanted. Go to Peachland, I say. Go to West Kelowna, I say. I mean, bring some bottled water with you, but like, go to West Kelowna. Okay? Spend your money at the Shoppers Drug Mart and the Walmarts. Okay? The amenities that you've come to love and expect. Go there and do it. Kelowna has room in its heart for everybody. Go to Peachland. Kelowna doesn't care. Kelowna knows you'll be back. But Kelowna also knows you'll be back without expectation of result. So if you don't come back from Peachland, Kelowna's going to be okay. If you don't come back from West Kelowna, Kelowna's going to be okay, man. Kelowna welcomes all and frees all. Be free. And in your freedom, come to Kelowna. It's the town you want to be on. Yeah. Ice cream, I think we've covered that. There's different flavors of Kelowna ice cream you can't get anywhere else. There's Hoobie-Doo, Haberdasher, Secret Pistachio, okay? Green Goblin, Blue Danube, okay? Red Radish. There's all these flavors. Sambone, Hambone, Cinnamon Swirl. Okay, if you want to come to Kelowna for ice cream, do it, because there's there. There's there at Ice Cream Kelowna Town. Cherry Doppler. Okay, Blue Balls. I'll get a double scoop of Blue Balls, please. You know how many balls it is? 4 balls, my friend. A little bit more balls than you know what to do with. That's okay, because you'll learn. Because in Kelowna, everyone has 4 balls. Sunshine. Cereal gum. Black Betty. These are all ice cream flavors, and you can't get anywhere else. Now let's talk about the pizza. I didn't eat any pizza. Now let's talk about, wait, one time I did, and it was good. The Mexican food. Excellent. Okay? Let's go to Bright Jenny, the coffee store. You know why? Because you can go there and work on your stuff. You can go there and work on your stuff, and there's nowhere anywhere else like it, okay? It's in an industrial park, 1, so plus. That's a big old plus. Okay? You're not sure if it's like some kind of weird office, and it's also surrounded by chain link fence. Okay? Another plus, +2. Okay? There's plenty of parking because it's a gravel pit, a patch. You go in and you have a nice mocha. You know what? That mocha's not sweet. They don't insult your intelligence by making you a sweet mocha. They know you don't need it sweet. You just want that chocolate taste with that coffee. You got it there, okay? So, and sometimes coffee's got too much flavor, where it's Flavortown, USA, and you don't want that much. It's too much for your mouth. You just want something that's nice size for your mouth. Okay? And that's what you get at BJ. Bright Journey. There's ice cream. Okay, coffee, we covered that. Places to work. Okay. The sales. Okay, there's the art. The public art. So the sales are a beautiful piece of sculpture that my son loves. Also, there's an Ogopogo that's been there since 1963. Underneath that statue is the time capsule you cannot open. It's from the atomic age. And once that capsule is open, it will unleash atomic powers, unlike the world has ever seen. And people will be like, oh, I know you've been to Kelowna. And you're like, why? Is it because you're glowing, man? You're floating above the earth and you're glowing. How did that happen? You fell off the Kelowna statue, the Ogopogo statue. It cracked. The floor cracked. The concrete underneath it cracked. You were absconded by visual energies. People can see it. And you floated up. And Ogopogo said, I knew this would happen. I knew this day would happen. And now I must activate my powers to protect this town, this wonderful tourist town. So if you're worried about safety, don't do it. Because Kelowna has Ogopogo, okay? You know how everyone's like, don't worry about going to Tokyo because Godzilla has our back. Well, Ogopogo's got your back too, as long as it happens in the water because it's a plesiosaur. So if you've got any water-based worries, okay, don't worry about them. I'm saying don't, because Ogopogo will protect you from them. I mean, Ogopogo requires a sacrifice, but isn't that a nice story to tell where Grandma went? Okay? Like, for the greater good of Kelowna, a town that you want to be on. Have you ever seen advertising billboards reaching high like the cedar trees of old? You should go to Kelowna. Have you ever been to a fruit wine? Go to Kelowna. Have there ever been orchards your kids could run around in? Although I wasn't sure if we were actually allowed to do that. They were just letting us do it, or what common practice is. But our kids were running around that orchard, peeing on trees. So watch out for your grapes. Watch out for your grapes. No, it's going back to the earth, so it's all fine. Kelowna's got everything you need to have a family fun. Shoppers Drug Mart, okay? 2 Walmarts, a Lord Co's Auto Parts, okay, for when you need parts for your car or you'd like to build a robot. Ogopogo would sure appreciate the help if you built a giant robot. And that's why Kelowna has the annual Add to Our Robot. That's not really a competition, more like a festival where you go to Lordco Auto Parts, you buy the parts. There's also other parts that people didn't want or couldn't take home or didn't add to. You add to a giant robot is what I'm trying to say. And it's a great time, okay? There's food. There's street vendors like Taco Truck 6000, okay? Cotton Candy My Ass, okay? Taco Time, like the Taco Time, okay? Taco Tuesdays is $2, except it's not $2 anymore, is it? That's why you need value for your dollar. That's why you go to Kelowna, okay? Kelowna, it's not cheap in that sense of the word where it's less expensive, okay? But it's less money than if you went to Turkey or Disneyland, okay? Actually, I don't know if it's less money if you went to Turkey. Turkey might be, they got some pretty good deals on. A lot of guys going getting hair plugs. So they want to keep the price low so that they can spend more on hair. So anyway, the point is, Kelowna is an inexpensive and economical, reasonably priced place to take your family on a vacation. Do you want to know where the Flintstones Bedrock City is? It's not there anymore. But you can find a silhouette of the old Fred on Google Maps. And then you could tell your children this is where it all was once. The Wet and Wild Water Slide. Flintstones, Bedrock City. My dreams of my childhood. All here. And now you're here too. Except you're saying this from about 20 feet up because now you've been irradiated and you're floating around. You don't have a lot of time left, so it's good that you're spending quality time with your kids in Kelowna. So if you don't have a lot of time left, why don't you get in a car, go on down to Kelowna, okay? There's a lot of relaxing things that you can do. There's no snow. At least I don't think. At least not in the summertime. There's no snow in the summertime, okay? It might get a little rainy, but you want that because May flowers bring June flowers, okay? And then there's, what else is there in Kelowna? Ice cream? The Buggy Guys. Go have your birthday there. Go have your bachelorette party there. You should do it. Fly from different parts of the world to Kelowna for a bachelorette party. I saw it done. I've heard of it done. And it was the best time. Kelowna. It's the place you want to be at. So please, come on down to the Highway 1, and then you hang a left. You go down the side of the lake, okay? You really know you're in Kelowna country when it's a big, giant lake. You think, yeah, you could put something in there. You could put a big beast in there, sure. Right? Don't worry about whose land it is. Just go to Kelowna, okay? And if you have an ambrosia apple, you got to pay my friend 5 cents. You don't actually have to go pay him 5 cents. It happens at the point of sale of the seeds. Per seed, 5 cents a nickel. A nickel for every seed. Ambrosia? I think it's ambrosia. Any kind of apple is your kind of Kelowna apple. If you want fruit, you got to go there at the right times. But then again, any time is a good time for Kelowna. But let's say you're there in July. Cherries, okay? Let's say you're there in February. Frozen fruit, okay? Ice wine, okay? Let's say you're there in August. Okay, you got peaches for me, peaches for you, peaches for free, peaches for 2. Apricots, plums. The cherries are gone. Only the memories of the cherries remain. The pits scattered around my feet like a pointillist masterpiece. Well, you'd have to be like up in the air. I guess if you're floating up in the air 20 feet because you've been irradiated by some secret time capsule radiation nugget that was underneath the Kelowna statue, then it looks like tiny nuggets, tiny points. There's the cherry pits at my feet. I guess I'm in the center. But you know, Kelowna's not all about me. Kelowna's about family, love, trust, and funds. If you have those things, you're going to have a good time at Kelowna. Come on down. There's plenty of brochures where I can give you information, okay? The Walmart opens at 7, okay? Lordco Auto Parts and the Robot Festival opens at 7. Everything opens at 7 and closes at 3. You know why? Because you got to get home, have a nap, okay? Catch up on the sleep that you haven't been having in your life at Kelowna. Have a good old nap in the day. You can hear the robot down at the sales, okay? And people cheering and clapping. Ogopogo feeling threatened, like it's going to be replaced by a machine. Well, don't we all feel that way? So, if you want to watch Ogopogo take apart a giant robot and think, yeah, you know, my job is going to be safe too because Ogopogo speaks for all of us. Go to Kelowna. But then again, that's defining it as a negative, as if it was... Because if a spaceship full of machines came down and said, where's a place to hang out, get laid, I'd say, Kelowna. Go to Kelowna. Okay? You can hang out. I don't know how much action you're going to get, but really, like, don't you want to forge relationships with people? Can't just show up in a tourist town expecting a bunch of action. Well, I suppose you can. And sometimes it happens, but then you leave with that empty feeling. Okay? Go down to the beach, get some secret pistachio ice cream, put your feet on the dirty water, okay? Put your sand in the toes, okay? So you feel it. You're going to feel that sand the rest of the week. Even when you're at home, you're going to be like, oh, I miss Kelowna. Put your shoes on. Put your Kelowna shoes on, okay? And then you'll feel this sand between your toes. I'm back in Kelowna, man. Just close your eyes and think. Sound of robot. Okay, fighting plesiosaur. Okay, radiation, like, but comic book radiation where it's like, wah, wah, wah. Not where it's like, I'm gonna kill you. And that you can see it too, right? It's like a visual spectacle, kind of like the Northern Lights, how they were so far down south. So Kelowna, in retrospect, is still a great place to go. You don't even have to retrospect it. Just go there, man. Don't think about it. There's plenty of places to drive. There's roads. Okay? So, go to Kelowna. I can't believe that guy ripped his face. Gotta take better care of my friends, man. Make sure they're okay. Just ripped his, like the face just ripped right in half.